There is a power within you that you may not have fully understood, a power that shapes your world, not just tomorrow, but even what you call yesterday. Most people think their past is finished, unchangeable, carved in stone. They believe they are helpless before what has already happened. And so they live chained to memories of disappointment, failure, and regret. But I tell you, your past is not as fixed as you think. Your memory of it lives only in your imagination. And your imagination is the creative power itself. It is the true cause of all that you experience. What you hold as true in imagination will harden into fact. So consider this. If your imagination creates reality, and your memory is simply an imaginal act repeated, then you have the power to change your experience by changing what you remember. You can revise what has been, so that what will be must also change. This is what I call revision. Revision is the deliberate reshaping of past events in imagination. It is the conscious decision to refuse to accept any past that does not serve you. You do not do this to lie to yourself or ignore facts out of fear. You do it because you understand that what you remember, you continue to create. You see, life holds up a mirror to your assumptions. If you assume failure and betrayal, because you remember them vividly, you invite them again. But if you change your memory, if you imagine that event as you wish it had been, you plant a new seed. That seed will grow into a new reality. Revision is not wishful thinking. It is the application of the law of assumption to your own past. It is the choice to no longer be bound by old hurts, old fears, old limitations. You claim your freedom by rewriting the script. And in doing so, you transform your world. Revision is the act of reshaping the past in your imagination. It is not denial. It is not pretending that something never happened. It is the conscious use of your creative power to rewrite the memory of an event so that your mind no longer holds the old version, but the new one you wish had occurred. Why does this matter? Because what you accept as true, especially about your past, becomes the seed of your future. The assumptions you hold, whether they come from yesterday or many years ago, shape how you think, feel, and act. And those assumptions harden into fact. So if you had an argument today, or received news that felt like failure, and you let that story settle in your mind, it will bear fruit. You may not see it immediately, but it will echo forward into your life. But if instead you take that event and rewrite it in imagination, see it unfold differently, hear what you wish had been said, feel the way you wish it had made you feel, then you have planted a new seed. And your future must reflect that. Revision is your right and your responsibility. It is your way of refusing to carry unwanted stories forward. You do not revise out of fear. You revise because you know who you are, the operative power. Now, the most powerful time to revise is in the quiet of night just before sleep. This is when your conscious mind relaxes and the doorway to your subconscious opens wide. You review your day, and where anything fell short of your ideal, you change it in imagination. You see it how it ought to have been. You feel it to be true. You allow that version to become the final impression upon your mind before drifting off. But I also tell you this: you are not confined to the hours before sleep. Revision is not a ritual but a living practice. Whenever you catch yourself recalling something that does not match your desired reality, revise it. Even in the middle of the day, even years after it happened. If it lives in your memory, you can change it. Revision is your tool for freedom. You are not bound by what was. You are free to assume what should have been, and in doing so direct what must come next. When you revise, you are not simply changing a memory. You are changing the foundation upon which your future is built. Your assumptions, your beliefs about what has happened shape your feelings and your expectations. And those feelings and expectations become your reality. Imagine a gardener tending a plot of earth. If the soil holds weeds from past seeds, the garden cannot flourish. You must pull up the weeds and plant new seeds of your choosing. Revision is this act of pulling weeds and planting seeds in the soil of your consciousness. You must do this with feeling. Your imagination must be vivid and sincere. You must see, hear, and feel the new scene as if it already happened. It is not enough to think about it or to hope. You must accept the new version as real, as true, and as the final truth. This acceptance is the key. The subconscious does not argue with your assumptions. It simply acts according to what it is given. If you give it pain, conflict, or limitation, that is what it manifests. If you give it peace, victory, and fulfillment, that is what it manifests. Revision frees you from the chains of old experiences. It allows you to reimagine your life story according to your deepest desire. It is the conscious choice to live from the end, from the wish fulfilled. And as you do so, your outer world must follow. This is why revision is so powerful. You are not helpless in the face of your past. You are the creative force behind your experience. You choose what lives in your memory and what shapes your future. Keep practicing revision. Use it to transform not only your past, but your present and your future. Make it a habit, a sacred act of self-creation. And watch how your life bends to the new story you hold within. Now, consider how your mind works when you fall asleep. In those moments before slumber, your conscious thoughts slow and quiet. Your subconscious, however, remains alert and open, ready to accept your final impressions. This is why nightly revision is so potent. As you lie down, gently replay the day's events. Wherever you see discord or disappointment, rewrite it. See the scene as you wished it had been. Feel the emotions you desired to feel in that moment. By doing so, you give your subconscious a new command. You seal your day with a vision of peace, success, and joy. You allow your mind to drift into sleep, carrying this seed of transformation. But this is only part of the power of revision. When you awaken, you carry the freshness of that new assumption into your day. You no longer bear the weight of the old story. You move forward, unburdened, aligned with your desired reality. In practical terms, this means your attitude changes. You act, speak, and think as one who already lives the reality you have revised to be true. Your actions follow your assumptions, not the old circumstances. And because your subconscious influences your outward behavior, others begin to respond to the new you. This is the law in action. Your inner world, revised and accepted, projects outward. Your external world bends to conform to your new assumption. The magic is not magic at all. It is the unchanging law of creation responding to your imagination and belief. So make revision your daily habit. Use it not only to heal the past, but to create the future. Remember, the power to change your world is in your hands. Do not wait for external circumstances to change. Change your inner story first, and the outer world will follow. Let us reflect now on the profound nature of your imagination. Your imagination is not a mere mental pastime or idle fantasy. It is the very workshop of your reality. Everything that you see around you, every person, everything, was first imagined. Nothing comes into existence without first being conceived in the mind. This is why your imagination is sacred. When you revise your past in imagination, you are not simply altering a memory. You are reaching into the fabric of reality itself and weaving a new thread. Each imagined scene you accept creates a new vibration that your subconscious mind carries forward. This vibration is the language the universe understands. Now think about your daily experiences. If your life seems lacking, if you feel stuck or limited, this is a reflection of your inner assumptions. Your outer world is always a mirror of your inner state. So instead of trying to change circumstances by force or effort, turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, what assumption am I holding that needs revision? Revision is your tool for that inner transformation. It allows you to correct false assumptions that keep you trapped in unwanted patterns. When you use it faithfully, you begin to live as if your desires are already fulfilled. This living from the end shifts your consciousness to a new level of being, and your external world responds accordingly. Remember, the law is impartial and unfailing. It does not judge your past actions or circumstances. It only manifests what you assume and feel to be true. By revising your memories and beliefs, you rewrite the script of your life. You become the author of your own story. So I encourage you to make revision not a rare act, but a daily practice. Be vigilant of the thoughts and memories you entertain. Catch the moments when you slip into old, limiting patterns. Pause and rewrite those moments with the fullness of your imagination. Feel the new scene as deeply and clearly as you can. Over time, you will notice your outer world shifting. Events will begin to align with your revised assumptions. People will treat you differently, opportunities will arise, and your sense of peace will deepen. This is the power of revision working quietly beneath the surface. Trust this process. Trust your imagination, the great creative force within you. It is not fantasy. It is the law. It is the secret to changing your life from the inside out. Now that you understand the power of revision, it is important to see how this practice ties into the natural flow of your life. You must recognize that the outer world does not change instantly, even though your inner world shifts immediately. Your new assumption takes root within you the moment you accept it as true. But the physical world needs time to catch up. This delay is not a failure of the law. It is simply the natural unfolding of cause and effect. When you revise a memory or assumption, you are planting a seed in your subconscious mind. This seed must germinate, grow, and blossom into experience. Just as a farmer cannot rush the growth of a crop by pulling on its leaves, you cannot force your manifestation by worrying or chasing. Your only task is to nurture the seed with your sustained belief and feeling. You water it by imagining your desire as already fulfilled, by feeling it with conviction, and by living from that state daily. Do not be fooled by the current circumstances. They are remnants of your old assumptions, echoing from the past. They do not represent your future unless you allow them to. You must continue to assume your wish fulfilled, no matter what your senses report. This is faith, not blind faith, but practical faith rooted in knowing the law. Many lose hope because they see no immediate change. They mistake the delay for denial. But the law does not deny. It is impersonal and relentless in its fulfillment of your assumptions. The delay is simply the process of your new assumption, solidifying in your consciousness and preparing your reality to reflect it. You might also notice that your external world rearranges itself in surprising ways. Events that seemed unrelated begin to align. Opportunities arise where none existed before. People appear who are in harmony with your new state of being. These are signs that your revised assumption is taking form. So, be patient and persistent. Continue to live as if your wish is already realized. Let go of worry and doubt. Your manifestation is closer than you think. Trust the process, for the law is working, whether you see it or not. Now, let us consider the role of your feelings in this creative process. Feelings are the language your subconscious understands best. They are the bridge between your imagination and your reality. When you revise a scene, it is not enough to see it clearly in your mind's eye. You must also feel the emotion that naturally accompanies that scene, as if it is happening now. This feeling stamps the assumption deeply into your subconscious. For example, if you are revising a past success, feel the joy, pride, and satisfaction you experienced in that moment. If you are revising an interaction where you desired respect or love, feel the warmth, acceptance, and appreciation as if it were real today. Feelings cannot be faked or rushed. They must be sincere. This sincerity convinces the subconscious that your new version of reality is authentic. Remember, your subconscious acts on feeling and assumption, not logic or wishful thinking. You might know intellectually that you want something different, but until your feelings match that knowledge, your reality will not shift. This is why revision is so powerful. It aligns your feelings with the truth you want to live. Now I invite you to practice a simple visualization. Close your eyes and bring to mind a recent event that did not go as you wished. See it now as you wish it had unfolded. Hear the words you long to hear. Feel the emotions you desired to feel in that moment. Hold this scene gently but vividly in your imagination. As you do this, know that you are planting a new seed in your subconscious. This seed will grow silently, shaping your future experiences. Do this often, especially before sleep, and watch how your reality begins to change. Now that you see how revision can reshape your life, make it part of your everyday practice. It is not something distant or complicated, but a simple habit that anyone can develop. Whenever you catch yourself dwelling on a negative memory or feeling, pause for a moment. Choose to replace that memory in your mind with the version you wish had happened. See it clearly and feel it deeply. If you had a moment of failure or rejection, imagine it instead as success and acceptance. If you experience conflict, revise it to harmony and understanding. This may feel unfamiliar at first, and that is natural. Like all new skills, it becomes easier with consistent practice. Make it a part of your evening routine to review the day's events. Before you sleep, replay your day in your imagination and change anything that left you feeling incomplete or unhappy. This gentle rewriting sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind, guiding it toward your desired reality. Understand that your outside world always reflects your inner beliefs and assumptions. Revision does not deny what happened, it changes how you carry it within. When your inner story changes, your outer reality follows. Do not expect instant results. The law works perfectly, but in its own time. Trust the process, remain patient, and keep your imagination alive with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Revision becomes your secret tool to transform your life from the inside out. Each day, by consciously rewriting your memories, you free yourself from limitation and open the path to new possibilities. You hold the creative power. Use it wisely and watch your reality change in harmony with your new story.